All right, so your turn. Go, Candace.
This the SMH show. From the first beat, you'll be hooked for sure. If you feel that rhythm in your soul, wave your hands, let the whole world know. The SMH show. Quick sit back, feel the tempo slow. Where your stories glow. So ain't got you nodding like.
Hey, it's your girl Sue Marie, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give a review of the Michael Jackson movie, and joining me is my sister Candace, who also got to see the movie. We saw it kind of together, but not together.
At the same location, but at different times.
Oh my gosh, you guys gotta go watch the Michael Jackson movie. It was a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It's like 15 minutes apart. It was just one of those things where I was coming off of work really early. And so we're gonna walk and talk, and we're gonna give our honest review. All right, so Candace, first of all, before we get started, what would you give this rating out of a 10?
This is hands down 10 out of 10. And I'm a very picky person. I don't really go to movies like that, but I had to see this and it did not disappoint. So definitely 10 out of 10. The acting on point, superior.
What they do? Clock it, right? Yeah, so things I'm gonna talk about is partially as a viewer, but also partially as a filmmaker, you know. But anyway, so with that being said, as a director myself, Antoine Fuqua, he did that thing as a director. You know, you have to have a good vision for a script, and kudos to the writers and everybody. And as I stayed behind and saw all the credits, I like to watch credits. I did see that a lot of the brothers, including his oldest son, Michael Prince, was executive producer. So that also says a lot that, you know, the family approved. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the absence of Janet Jackson. She was not mentioned nor shown, or depicted, I should say. We saw a lot of LaToya. And, you know, she must have her reasons, respectfully, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, let's start from the beginning with young Michael. Candace, what you think of young Michael?
So young Michael, like I said before, the acting overall, he would surprise you because of the fact that he's young, but the way how he embodied young Michael and made his own, but not drifting from what we all know of as Michael from the Jackson 5. He brought it with the vocals. I don't know if that's his real vocals, but
It sounded like it was.
It was amazing. I don't want to give too much away, you know, but
I mean, you know
that it's really, really believable.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like we're giving it away, because a lot of people, let's just say the older generation, we're of the Gen X generation, right? And so a lot of people know his story. Even younger people they're getting to know Michael. They know, you know, pretty much some of his stories. Now, this movie pretty much just stopped around where he started his solo career, and it mostly showed his interaction with his dad, and, you know, just trying to break away from. If anything, the antagonist was the dad, and now the dad was giving me a little bit of Ike Turner energy, you know. Wouldn't you agree, Candace? Like, there's some scenes where you felt like he was about to hit Mama Catherine.
I would say that the way how they portrayed Joe, and like my sister said before, we've seen him in a previous documentary of Michael, and so it was portrayed much differently than this one. In this film or movie, he's portrayed more, I would say,
gentler.
Yes.
More gentler.
And I'm kind of glad that they did that, because I think it would have changed the energy of the movie.
Yeah.
And so, I believe that even in this movie, I feel it is okay to bring your children.
Somebody's calling.
Ashley right now, taking a break right now. So, I have my Pasture products, Pasture Food Body Butter. Look at that, travel size. Perfect thing that I need right now. Look at this. Moisture. If you're not using Passion products, I don't know what you're using. This is all natural, vegan friendly body butter. Perfect right now. You can get yours as well at passionproducts.com.
You were saying, Candace?
So I was driving the point home about parents and children, something I knew already, but this film made it more real. When sometimes parents want to live vicariously through their children, and because of that, there becomes this control mechanism where they want the children to basically do everything that they wanted to do for themselves, instead of allowing their children to explore and be independent and make a life of their own. And you'll see in this film where when that takes place, how much further Michael's able to go. So, just kind of keep that in the back of your mind, parents who are watching this right now and watching this film.
Yeah, and Michael, although he really feared his dad to the point where, not to give too many, it is documented, but certain things he couldn't stand up on his own to face him. But I can admire how much of the drive he when he was making deals with certain executives, his vision was so big, and they didn't shut it down, because his drive, he saw his potential, and he believed in himself. But yet there was that person in the form of his dad holding him back. And a lot of times as humans, let's just say, we're gonna cut through there. A lot of times, a lot of us have our dream, our vision, but our parents sometimes are the ones that hold us back in going after that thing, whatever that looks like. But I can give it to Michael. Michael, he really is was a boss, the way he handled himself. I'm showing you, don't worry, I've walked this way before. Let me show you a little bit of where we are. We're on a golf course. And I've walked this path before, so she's like, where are we going? Nevertheless, so I must admire that he saw himself in his success and the vision. And as the film depicted his humongous success as far as the crowds and everything, my mind went to other, like, who else in our time that kind of can fall. Nobody's going to touch him, first of all, as far as his grandiose star power. But I would say a Beyonce, a Chris Brown, don't you agree? Somebody.
Yeah, I can't even think beyond that, honestly.
Yeah, that this generation.
There are other big stars, but
as far as let's say the black, not even, because Michael, like he said, it surpassed black and white. It's not about color. Like he said, his view. And another thing, they dropped a little bit of black history, right? They dropped a little bit of black history in there, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
There was one other thing that I'm not gonna say what exactly it is, but there was an affirmation that Michael had chanted to himself in one of the scenes, and for some odd reason I actually became teary-eyed, because those are the same affirmations that I speak to myself and also give to my students to speak. And it made me realize just how powerful
words
in those moments when it's needed, you can recall that and get the confidence that you need. So
words,
affirmations are very,
words
very
are
powerful.
seeds. The Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue. Okay, it's so deep. So it's important that you speak life, believe in yourself, man. Nevertheless, all right. So other aspects of the film that we liked.
Wardrobe.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wardrobe was on point. At some points, I was wondering if they used some of the original wardrobe from Michael, but I thought they wouldn't mess up his things like that. So
I don't know, but even if it was a replica, it brought back energy. Like when you saw that red jacket or or the embroidered thing, and then the gladiators. Ooh, like, ooh, Michael was Michaelin, child. And then let's talk about the music, of course. I mean, and even how some of the songs were originated, and you know, sometimes, I mean, I've seen other artists, you know, talk about stuff like that, or as far as how they don't get everything all at once. It'll be little bits and pieces, but I like his method. You know, it's almost like a filmmaker or writer, you know, they put little bits and pieces on a board. That gave me an idea. I'm like, man, yeah, storyboard. Like he only got little bits and pieces of his lyrics, and he would put it on a board. You know what I'm saying? I know that might be a little bit of, but by the time you see this, you know, a lot of you would already see it, because this is gonna be number one. I already know. This is gonna be a blockbuster.
He has to definitely win an award for his acting.
Jafar,
Or
yes.
something for this film.
The depiction. Oh yeah.
Most definitely.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
And Kev on stage already gave his critique about it. And he,
Hello.
she's good girl.
Oh, hey.
And when he said this is along the lines of great, I would partly agree. The acting level was just top tier.
Yeah. As in for a biopic, you know, definitely. I mean, looks wise, of course, but performance, because it's not easy to dance like Michael. Okay, but good job on the casting, because, and I feel like as an audience, people also will trust the process that, you know, he's one of the family members, so that also is a draw. And then of course word of mouth, like what we're doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I also feel that because he is blood to Michael, that he felt the pressure to bring it. So that could also be one of the reasons why it is as great as it is, because of that pressure, family, or, you know, the legacy to continue from here.
Yeah.
So
now, you know, there are, you know, some controversy behind the scenes. The daughter Paris didn't attend for whatever her reasons are. I think she said something, I read that, you know, she wanted to, certain things she didn't feel like was accurate about her dad, and wanted to give her input, and the powers that be didn't, you know, listen to her or whatever. And I don't know what Janet's reasoning is to this at this particular point. I don't know if she's gonna come out and say her reason why, but you know, it is a sensitive issue. This is like, you know, you're talking about my family type stuff. You know what I mean? So I understand. She didn't want, you know, Janet always been kind of like on her own island anyway, so it ain't nothing new. But overall, as we face this thing,
one last nugget I would add. Being that Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson, when you consider the choreography, like his dance moves, they are so signature to just him. And when you think about leaving a legacy, leaving a reputation or a name for yourself, just how even when you think your ideas are the most strange or weirdest, as long as you believe in it and you operate in confidence, make it your own, and you never know, like someone else might want to do the same thing. It may sound weird and odd at first, but it's okay. Like, if you believe in it, do it.
And you know, because the vision, Bob say, write the vision and make it plain, because not everybody can see your vision, right? Because if God only gave it to you, or even the talent and the gifts, right, you're the one that got to take it out and, you know, take it to the next level and operate in that. So, but overall, we definitely enjoyed this film. We don't ever do this type of thing, you know what I'm saying? And so I appreciate my sister to, you know, take the time with me to just kind of vlog and just kind of, you have to kind of like decompress, because, you know, I went by myself and I was dancing by myself in the theater. I didn't care who saw me.
I saw myself dancing in the chair, and I had to like, hold on, I'm literally like driving. So like,
you can't. And you know what? That's even funny, because one of the scenes where Michael was recording, he couldn't stop moving his feet. You know, it's in his blood. It's the rhythm. Woo! I'm telling you, the music was musicking. Music. It was awesome from every aspect of the film. This is the epitome of filmmaking. You know, this is the type of level, and of course, you know, it takes a budget. So, kudos to everybody who believed in the project and made it happen. And it's a feel-good movie. We need this type of energy right now, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. And you need something to kind of just escape a little bit of all the chaos and stuff like that. So,
and one other last thing. Even though there have been many other documentaries and biopics.
Michael.
Yeah, on MJ. Initially, I felt like another one wasn't needed, but I realized that they did not repeat a lot of the stuff that we've seen previously. They focused really on highlights.
And listen,
And it made it very interesting the way how the edits and the cuts were. It just like boom, 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 boom. It kept your attention. So that's what you'll feel when you watch it.
and you know, it was long, but it didn't feel long. It felt like it was a journey. Like it felt like we could still watch some more. We would be in the theaters right now if it was longer.
I
Because
was waiting for more at the end.
so it left room. I mean, because you know, you can do your own research, and you know, and those who lived through this era, you already know. But for the new generation, I'm glad they have something now that they can kind of see. They may have been hearing about Michael and stuff like that, because you know, he died in the early 2000s, and he died at 50 years old. It's almost like he was preserved, you know. But I mean, his legacy lives on. I mean, the music is still there. It don't matter if it was made in the 80s or the 70s or whatever. It's still and I mean, and they didn't even touch on half of his whole discography, you know what I'm saying? Like, whew, every song. And he was a philanthropist, you know, he gave back. And even Bubbles made an appearance. This little monkey, Bubbles. I was waiting for Neverland to come up, but you know, Chipmunk or whatever. Yeah.
Not chipmunk.
Not a chimpanzee, not a chipmunk. But yeah, definitely. So we recommend to go see the movie. We loved it.
Take a picture of you.
No, we're recording. It's okay. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. All right, so we should have gotten a little selfie. Yeah, so
But
anyway,
yeah, once again, 10 out of 10.
yes. All right, well, thank you again for tuning in to the SMH show. It's your girl, Anne Marie. And if you are, yeah, my sister wants me to move. Okay, I'm going to do my moonwalk, and she's going to do her moonwalk.
We're just gonna moonwalk out of the frame. Dun, 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 dun,
Show you what I'm trying to do. Just keep it like that, and I'm going to come in the frame. All right. All right, so your turn. Your turn.
Oh my God.
Let's see you moonwalk into the frame, Candace.
From the highs to the heartbreak, she keeps it all real. Every word, every giggle feels like home for real. Feels like home for real.
Go, Candace. And then, of course, you know, I know, but you know, even though I don't know how to do the what's the name of that Halloween dance?
Just scary.
I mean, visually, I know it. It was so iconic, and now I'm sure all the TikToks are gonna go crazy with that dance routine. But anyway, thank you again for tuning in to the SMA show. Be sure to go watch, like, subscribe, and share this video. For those of you who are contemplating whether or not you should go see the movie Michael, we do recommend it. And again, like my sister said, it's not something she does. I'm out of breath.
Yeah, I don't like to be in front of the camera, so.
Yeah. So, and then be sure, check out her website for her skincare line, Kasha products. She also has a beard line for men. And
Kasha products. Thank you.
I'll holla. All right, y'all have a good day.
Wave your hands at the whole